hate that people are right when they say that exercise helps you and it's good for your mental health. Oh, that makes me so mad that they're right. But they're right. They're right. I did it. I officially completed the 75 hard challenge. For those of you who don't know, 75 hard is a challenge that was popularized on TikTok a few years ago. It's made up of a few rules. You have to do 2 separate 45-minute workouts a day. One of them has to be outside. You have to follow a specific diet, no cheat meals allowed. You can't drink any alcohol. You have to drink 1 gallon of water per day. You have to read 10 pages of a physical book, and you have to take a picture of yourself every day. And then if you miss any of those rules, if you mess up even one single time, like you don't take a picture one day, you have to start all over again at day 1. I tracked all of my progress on this Notion page that I made. If you're interested in it, I'll link it in the description below. I've never had a healthy relationship with exercise. When I was a kid in the Middle East, I wasn't put in any sports, and it wasn't until high school that I started actually working out, but it was driven by self-hatred and developed into orthorexia super quick. I was a chubby kid in middle school, and I was made fun of for it, and despite eventually becoming objectively skinny in high school, I still never stopped hating what I saw in the mirror. And then in college, I got really busy, which broke me out of that unhealthy fixation, but then I ended up developing unexplained neck and back pain when I was 21, and that made it nearly impossible to stick to any kind of exercise routine. Thankfully, I fell in love with yoga at the time, which became the only thing keeping me agile. And then in the 8 years since, I tried training for a half marathon once, weightlifting like one other time, each time quitting a few weeks in because the pain became unbearable. Outside of that and the occasional yoga session, I've remained physically inactive. 2 years ago, I got a breast reduction, which helped alleviate some of the pain, but it didn't fix my inconsistent relationship with exercise. I knew I needed a radical change, something that would really push me to my limits and guide me towards a healthier lifestyle. And when I stumbled upon the 75 hard challenge on TikTok, I knew that was exactly the level of intense that I needed. Anyways, it's officially been 75 days. Rain or shine, I completed the tasks, even on my birthday. So I wanted to share what my experience has been like in case you're curious like I was. Because you're doing a total of 150 workouts, you kind of have to get creative or you'll get bored and quit. This ended up being such a blessing for me because it pushed me to try different types of exercises that I never would have tried otherwise. And it really helped me discover what's for me and what isn't. I've tried Pilates, calisthenics, yoga, of course, HIIT training, weightlifting, hiking, rock climbing, dancing, like shuffling, jump roping, so many things. Surprisingly, the ones that ended up sticking were calisthenics and jump roping, completely unexpected. I quickly fell in love with jump roping specifically, and often found it hard to stop even after the 45 minutes were over. I also had no idea what a good cardio workout it was and how good it was for your body in general, like your bone health and your cardiovascular health, so that was just a big bonus. Being outside every day helped me connect with nature in a meaningful way, and the mental effects of having the sun in your face every day, which I'm literally staring at right now, I shouldn't be doing that. I hope that's better. For my outdoor workouts, I pretty much did a walk, a jog, or a jump rope every single day. And walking has become one of the things that I look forward to the most because 1, it meant I got to be outside in nature, and surprisingly every single day, despite doing the same walk, I found something new to be in awe of every time. And then 2, I also used it as an opportunity to like listen to audiobooks, podcasts, or calling people that I love, like my family, my friends. So it allowed me to reconnect with loved ones that I normally don't connect with as much. Also ended up noticing that on the days that I would do my walks, I just felt so much more invigorated throughout the day. This was by far my favorite part of the challenge. But then there are days like this where it is pouring outside and you have no excuse but to grab an umbrella and figure it out. Unfortunately, I did have to cheat a couple of times because of the poor air quality, because my 75 hard challenge coincided with the Canadian wildfires, which ended up making the air quality here unsafe, so I wasn't about to risk my health for that. It looks like I have a sepia filter on, but it's literally just orange. It's orange outside. But I'm not one of those Reddit bros that's like, oh, you must die in the hurricane or else you failed. But I will say, being a woman made this rule a lot harder than it probably would have been if I was a man. There were obviously days where life happened and I postponed the outdoor workout to the last minute, and by then it was dark outside and I couldn't really make up an excuse. I had to grab my pepper spray and hope for the best. But I don't know, that was stupid. I wish I was a man. This one I went, I guess, a little easy on myself, and I just picked what I already pretty much do every day, which is eat vegan. The only thing is I excluded anything that's like obviously unhealthy, and by that I mean it doesn't really have much nutritional value, like french fries and pizza, fried food, you know what I mean? I'm such a snacker, like I love to have salty and sweet snacks throughout the day. I'm like the kind of person that like eats dinner and then is like, I need something sweet, and then I eat something sweet and I'm like, okay, but now I need something salty, and then I need something sweet to round it out again. And for that, it was a big help for me to have a nutritious option for both savory and sweet snacks. I also tried intermittent fasting out for a couple of the days, but I didn't make that a rule. I didn't really like it, so I didn't stick with it. I love food too much to like restrict it to a certain time of the day. No alcohol was really easy for me because I'm already not a big drinker, but there definitely were a couple of days where I was like, oh my god, I want a whiskey sour right now. I make the best vegan whiskey sours with aquafaba instead of egg whites. Ugh, but it just made it so much better after I finished to be like, I earned this one. This is the only rule that I did actually cheat on, but I wouldn't call it that either. A gallon is just ridiculous for someone of my size. I'm 5'4" and I'm a woman. A gallon a day is borderline unhealthy. So I calculated what is ideal for someone of my size and weight and whatnot, and that ended up being around 75% of a gallon. So that's what I did every day. At first, I thought meeting this goal would be really hard. It's just a lot of water. Then I realized very quickly that working out twice a day gets you so thirsty. I was flying through that water. There were definitely some days where I forgot and the end of the night came about and I was looking through my checklist. I realized I forgot the water and I had to down like half of a gallon. It's one of those days. That was a nightmare situation, but that only happened a couple of times. Just to make my life easier, I made it a rule. As soon as I wake up, I take 5 big gulps. Then I also had reminders in my calendar 6 times a day to remind me you should be 1/6 of the way done, 2/6 of the way done. So then by 7 p.m., I should have had all the water completed. This was another really easy part because I love to read. This is also one of those things that I go in and out of every few months. Baby Manar was definitely that kid that spent the lunch and recess in the library every day, but as you grow older, life gets in the way. So I'm either reading voraciously, finding any little pocket of time to fit in a couple of pages here and there throughout the day, or I'm not touching a book for months on end. So the consistency that this challenge forced was so nice. I ended up averaging way more than 10 pages a day. I read a bunch of books. Some of them were The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt, Thrive, The Vegan Nutrition Guide by Brendan Brazier, A Field Guide to Edible Wild Plants, that was fun for foraging, and Black Swan by Nassim Taleb, and a few more. This one's self-explanatory. You take a picture of yourself every single day. So I did that, but I also took measurements on day 1 and then also on day 75. But I also found this rule really, really silly. It almost had me slipping back into my unhealthy habits where like I'd take a picture and then spend way too long just comparing day 1 to that picture. If I were to ever do this again, I would definitely nix this rule. But I also have to emphasize that appearing skinnier does not mean that you're healthier. I'm not here for fat phobia, and I also don't want to serve as a source of comparison for other people. But at the same time, I'm really proud of the progress that I've made and how hard I've worked. So I definitely have an internal debate regarding that. I don't know, tell me what you think. When you see before and after pictures, does it serve as motivation for you to be more physically active, which we all should be? Or do they just serve as yet another source of comparison? I go back and forth on that one. Not to be cliche, but like I did not do this challenge for aesthetic motivation. I really just wanted to feel healthier physically, hoped that my pain would minimize a little bit, you know. I think it did a little bit. I'm not completely sure. And when you've had pain for 10 years, 2.5 months, it's not going to disappear in that short amount of time. Hi, we moved again. The camera overheated. Okay, where were we? Oh yeah, so my favorite parts. Being outside every day, the benefits of the sunshine in your face, discovering exercises that I genuinely crave rather than do out of obligation, being more active, more consistently than I have ever been in my entire life. Like I said before, my pain got in the way of my exercising so often. I almost accepted the fact that I was gonna die early because of it. I just knew my body was gonna fall apart because I'm not active and it's so hard to be. But I just did not let myself make that excuse this time. I was like, this is my one chance to get my shit together. And I found workarounds. I found ways to work out where I'm not exacerbating the pain, or if I did, I just ice it, put heat on it, just do it. Do whatever it took. If I really was not feeling it, I was really in pain, I had my period making my back pain even worse, then I would do something like stretchy yoga. At least I was keeping my body moving. Also, my posture. That was the first thing that I noticed. It only took a couple weeks. I walked by a window and I saw my reflection. I was like, I think I'm standing up way more straight than I usually do. And then I had a couple people mention it too. And I was like, okay, it's not in my head. So that was also really nice. Like, it actually used to hurt standing up straight. Funny enough, on one of my first walks, like purposefully telling myself, stand up straight, stand up straight, stand up straight. It took a minute before I was like, my back hurts way too much. I need to sit down. And now it's like natural. Now I naturally want to sit up straight. Okay, this video is not a good example because I'm kind of hunched over for the camera. But in general, I would get such a sharp pain in my back, like in such a specific place. And I don't feel that when I stand up straight anymore. In fact, it feels uncomfortable if I'm not. Our bodies are so cool. Unexpected roadblocks. Like I said, the air quality days, those were terrible. Being a woman, that was annoying. Ankle pain. I jump roped way too hard, way too fast. It was just so fun. I wanted to do all the tricks. I follow Lauren Jumps now on Instagram and I just wanted to do all the things that she does. And I went way too hard. My ankles and my knees hurt. Like, I really had to take it slow for a couple weeks. And the other roadblock is I didn't realize I would be doing this on my birthday until like towards the end when I was getting close to my birthday. And I had booked like a really bougie 3 Michelin star vegan restaurant, 11 Madison Park in New York City. I posted a video about that. You can watch that. And even then, like, I couldn't try any of the cocktails then, but it was cool because it turned out that they had a lot of mocktails. so I didn't miss out. I really was gonna go into it and be like, should I say fuck it? This is such a rare experience, drink the fancy drinks, but I didn't do it. I didn't fall for it. Proud of myself for that for sure. Hardest part's my period. Feeling like I have no time. It really takes so much time in the day, even though it's only 90 minutes. Like, you're constantly thinking, did I drink my water? I have to do my exercise. I don't want to do anything else until I do my exercise, because if I focus on anything else, then I'm going to exercise too late in the day. And that cycle goes on and on and on and on until it feels like you really can't do anything. 90 minutes is a lot more than you think, because you also have to factor in like getting ready for it, taking a shower after, and all of that. So I don't think I'd be able to do this if I didn't work remotely, honestly. Also, another hard part was not letting myself go into that body image rabbit hole. I definitely obsessed over those pictures that I took. It got to the point where I took the pictures and then I quickly hid the photos so that I wouldn't look at them. Definitely revealed I have more work to do mentally regarding that. And then the last 2 weeks. I did not think the last 2 weeks would be the hardest part of the challenge, but oh my god, I wanted to quit every single day. I was like, I've already gotten this far. I already feel the physical changes. Let me quit. Like, what am I doing? I want my time back. I read a lot about people saying halfway through is the hardest part of the challenge. No, day 50 on. I think I might have even gained weight during that time because I was so motivated the first 2/3 of the challenge. And by the end, I was like, oh my god, I don't care. So I half-assed my exercises. I still did them. I still did full 45 minutes, but like not as hard as I was going at first. Ramped it down for sure. So just be ready for that. Be prepared. I hate to say it, but I think it changed my life. It's only been a couple weeks since I finished the challenge, so it might be too soon to say, but because I was doing 2 45-minute workouts every day, doing 1 45-minute workout a day feels like nothing. And I crave movement every day. It's crazy. Like, I crave moving my body. Like, I hate that people are right when they say that exercise helps you and it's good for your mental health. Oh, that makes me so mad that they're right. But they're right. They're right. They're so right. The other way it changed my life is it changed my perspective on my pain. I actually have hope now. My pain started when I was 21 years old, and by the time I was 23, it was unbearable. The healthcare system has failed me. I've visited dozens of doctors. I've gotten surgery for it. I've done physical therapy. I've done so much, and it got to the point where I was like, what's even the point of trying? But I think there's hope now, so it's cool. Even if the hope is not I can live a pain-free life, I can manage my pain. I can live where my pain is not ruling my everyday, you know? And I'm almost 30 now, so it only gets worse from here. I might as well learn the healthy habits starting now. What I wish I did differently, my sleep schedule. I don't have a circadian rhythm. Like, it's been that way since as long as I can remember. I've always been the studious type. I would stay up all night studying for tests, getting my homework done, and also staying up just feeding my creativity and my curiosity. I go down these rabbit holes and nothing can take me out of them, and I sacrifice sleep in order to do that. I'm gonna do a 75 hard sleep challenge next. So I wish I had a better routine down. Start my day, finish reading, get exercise 1 down, drink my water, take that picture, have that out of the way, so the only thing left to do is finish drinking water and do my second workout. Maybe if I do this challenge again. I don't think I will ever, but if I do. Okay, here are my tips. If you're trying a new type of exercise, ease into it. If you're a big snacker like I am, have nutritious alternatives ready for you, a savory and a sweet one. Get a large water bottle. I don't have mine right now, it's in the house, but that makes a big difference. Like, being able to visualize how much you have and not having to refill it multiple times a day. I have a half a gallon water bottle, so I knew that I drink 1.5 of those and I was good. And then get the water done early as possible, because getting up to pee at night is not fun. The water bottle I got is actually pretty funny. I wanted a glass water bottle because I don't like the flavor of metal and plastic, and also I just don't want to support as much plastic. It still has some plastic at the top, but I learned about the subculture of the water bottle that I have. Like, there are people who have a hobby of collecting like the sleeves that carry this water bottle. It's so funny. I kind of want to get into it, but it's overconsumption, so that's what's stopping me. Add water reminders to your calendar. I just did it on Google Calendar, so easy. Check in with your tracker every night. You don't want to forget something silly. Like I said, I have my Notion app. You can use that. It's pretty snazzy, if I do say so myself. Or you can pay for the official 75 Hard app. Don't be discouraged by the lack of progress that you see in your pictures, or like not seeing the numbers move on the scale. I only lost 2 kilos, or what is that, 5 pounds in the entirety of this challenge, and yet the effects are obvious, and then the measurements tell a different story. Oh, find a good sports bra. If you're a woman, oh my god, does that make a difference. It can make an unbearable exercise feel so much easier. Like, I didn't realize how much I hated jumping during workouts and why I hated jumping during workouts until I got a good sports bra. I don't know if this is the case for everyone, but I realized that the bras that cross in the back, those cause so much shoulder and back and neck pain for me. I need ones that are just like this. I did get mine from Amazon, which is gross, but I'll link those below because they are so nice and they don't hurt my back and neck. Since I'm done with the 75 hard challenge, these are the things I'm gonna stick to moving forward. Sticking to my water goal, sticking to 1 exercise per day, ideally all or some of them having some sort of outdoor element to them, at least a few times a week. Stick to my reading goal. 10 pages is so easy, there's no excuse not to do it. Continue trying to fix my sleep schedule. Failed miserably during these 75 days, but I will not be restricting any types of foods. That's just not the life I want to live, honestly. I pretty much would not recommend this challenge for most people. People with full-time in-office jobs, especially people with eating disorders. The picture element and the food restriction element, if you want to partake and you have an eating disorder, I would recommend skipping those rules. I have some privilege going into this challenge. I don't have kids, I work from home. I live in a pretty beautiful place, making working outside really nice. I get to be alone in my thoughts among beautiful nature and animals. Also, I am not blind to the fact that I don't live in a food desert. I am lucky enough to be paid well by my job so that I can actually afford food and water, and it's not hard for me to eat nutritious. I have health food stores around me. I have a family and friends that are there for me to lean on if things go wrong. A large amount of people don't have that. That's what makes me say this challenge is not accessible to most people out there. So take the videos that you see on TikTok and YouTube with a grain of salt. Not everyone can do this challenge, not because they're not able to physically and as a person, but because the world that we live in prevents them from it. So that's my 2 cents. And if your goal is to get fit, there are way better ways and less restrictive ways of getting fit than this challenge. I don't think this is a getting fit challenge. It's definitely a discipline one. I know that's kind of the tag for this, but it's true. If your goal is to build or rebuild your relationship with discipline, and you're the type of person who's fueled by challenges rather than uses the challenges to be harder on themselves, then maybe this challenge is for you. Here are my results. I lost a whopping 5 pounds. I lost almost 2 inches around my waist, same around my hips, and almost nothing anywhere else, but I became clearly a lot more toned, so there's that. I also have way more energy during the day. Doing my exercises, I feel unstoppable. I can run for so much longer than I was able to before, and running was not part of my workouts. I have more hope, I have more discipline, I love exercising, I love moving my body, and those have been the biggest pluses to this challenge, not the weight loss. Anyway, why are you watching this video? Like, are you doing the 75 hard challenge? Are you curious about it? Do you want to do it? Let me know. Okay, I'm sick of hearing myself speak. See you next time, bye. Oh, no.